I'm here after UK GovCamp with Michele, Ide-Smith and Paul Henderson, finding that the best conversations, as usual, take place in the pub. So I dragged them outside to recap on talking about the exercise they're doing with residents in, where is it?
Wisbech in North Cambridgeshire.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Up in Finland. Well, basically we're doing a project that's got CLG funding to look at how we can use social media to engage with communities. And as part of that, we've been doing a big community consultation. So we've done a survey, and Paul's been helping us do some focus groups with the community. And as part of that, we were looking at perceptions towards existing social media websites, so showing them a whole range of sites and seeing how they reacted to them. Yeah, we can talk through the workshop as well. But Paul, do you want to talk about some of the
workshops, Paul?
Yeah, well, we've been looking at a whole range of sites, so Flickr, Google Maps, Fix My Street, all sorts of sites, and just seeing how people from different groups, the groups we're sort of looking at are migrant groups, older people, it's obviously also a very rural area as well, and just gauging people's perceptions and reactions to them on not just how they work, but the usability of them as well. And it's very interesting to see people's reactions.
And you were telling me you were using slightly gamey techniques at one point?
Yeah, we've also taken that sort of feedback back, and the group that are actually putting together part of the project is quite a wide partnership of organisations, and we've used a bit of an adaptation of the social media game to build a website and then throw some scenarios at the website and see what problems and things crop up and what these scenarios can create.
And I think you were telling me that then gives some insights into what responses need to be made in this situation, because it's one thing designing a friendly front end, but it's what happens at the back end as well that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as soon as you sort of create something online, you're building up some expectations, and sort of things like response times and stuff like that really become very important, and it's what actually happens at the back end, all the processes, the responses, and all the different parties involved in maybe solving a problem. That's what the role playing in these scenarios really throws up.
And I've been interviewing people about how do we involve users in the design and development of digital public services. Sounds like this is a promising technique.
Yeah, I think it's working well so far. We've got some real sort of practical use of these focus groups and also the survey information. I think there's not just one way of doing it. I think you've got to approach it from several different angles.
And is the idea that this might be something that could be used elsewhere by the council, or indeed other councils?
Yeah, I would certainly hope so. Yeah, I think particularly with the groups that we were engaging, we used existing community groups where possible, because trying to engage with migrant workers, for example, neither Paul or I ran that focus group. Paul actually trained some of the community centre people who work with the migrant workers, because obviously that they're going to feel more relaxed in that environment, and it wouldn't have been appropriate for us to run that focus group. So I think there are techniques, and we demonstrated by doing a workshop before the focus groups with people who are going to be running the focus groups, that you can quite easily skill people up who are already good, working in outreach roles to sort of run this kind of a focus group fairly easily. So yeah, I think it's very transferable.
So both you're working on how to engage with groups in the community that might not otherwise engage, but it sounds like you're offering a kind of do-it-yourself technique as well.
Well, yeah, I'd like to think that, but I think it's then about how you take that data and analyse it, and how you record that data as well. So there's quite a lot of information that comes out of these things. Obviously you can record it if you get people's consent. But it's then about how do you actually analyse all of that information. So I think we've got the luxury within this project where it's a funded project and we have not a lot of time, but we've certainly, we're putting a lot of effort into trying to do that research up front. So I think that's a big consideration still.
And I guess there's then another stage back in the council or with service managers on what the implications of this.
Yeah, I think that we'll start to draw out what the implications are as we move to the next stage, which is about looking at business processes and how we redesign business processes to be able to effectively manage and respond to issues that citizens are raising through this website that we're building.
Great, well let's get back and see if there's still some money behind the bar.
Yeah, I hope my beer's there. Thanks.